I know that y'all have come to know my friend Joseph. We met at one of my book signings, and you never know. At my book signings, I just see really special people that share the love of food like me.
That's right.
And before I know it, I'm asking them to come into my kitchen with me. And that's how it happened with Joseph. And, he was the winner 2015, I think it was, of
All-Star Academy.
All-Star Academy. He won Best Home Cook of the Year.
In America.
In America. For that year,
Yes,
I don't know
ma'am.
if it's an annual thing. But anyway, when he told me that, my ears perked up, and the next thing I knew, he was here.
Oh.
But he mentioned to Teresa and Eddie that he wanted to interview me and pick my brain. I said, well, it won't take you but a minute, Joseph. It's very sparse up. So he is ready to interview me, I guess.
Sure.
Or just ask me some questions.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this.
You know I love you.
Oh, I love you so much. I still can't believe this is a reality.
It's
because
real, honey.
It is. It just blows my
real.
mind. I remember just being on my couch at probably when I was 12 or 13 years old at a friend's house and turning on Food Network and seeing you for the first time and someone that I could identify with that was reminded me of my family, reminded me of my roots, reminded me of the way my grandmother cooked. And then,
because your roots are Southern.
Oh, 100%. Yes, ma'am. My grandmother and my grandfather both grew up in the South. And my grandmother was one of the best cooks I think I've ever had the pleasure of learning from.
Love to put my feet under her table.
Oh my gosh, yes. One day, maybe in heaven, we'll do that.
Yes.
So, but anyway, all that to say, it's a joy and an honor to not even think that God would allow me to watch you growing up to now sitting here and being able to interview you and ask questions is just a true joy of my heart. And so I'm very big on intentional questions.
Okay.
So in the sense of, I love answers that I think not only I would like to know, but people I think in general would like to know. And so my first question is, what makes you get up in the morning? What makes you get up every single day?
What makes me get up in the morning? Well, survival. When I was day in and day out in the Lady and Sons in that restaurant, it was 14, 16, 18-hour days
goodness.
sometimes. And it was all about survival. God had given me this opportunity to make it and have my children with me. And I just wanted to survive because I didn't have any backup. I had no cushion. So it was all about my children. I never wanted them to feel some of the things that I had felt.
Sure.
And I was just willing to do whatever it took to make this one last chance successful.
Yeah, that's beautiful. We were at the party on Saturday for the Halloween party, which was so fun. So fun. You had invited me the last time I was here, so that's why I ended up coming.
I was so glad. I was shocked when I saw you. But there were so many people.
There was,
I didn't get a chance to speak to
it
you,
was
but it
so
thrilled
fun.
me.
It was an honor.
That
it
I
really
saw
was.
you.
Well, it was an honor to be there. But while I was there, some of the people that I met were just speaking of the resilience that you have and the determination and just how beautiful it is to be able to learn from someone who has, gone through everything that you've gone through, but the beauty of coming out on top, that instinct and that determination to survive and to keep going no matter what, that speaks volumes, and it's beautiful to hear other people talking about that too as well. So my next question is, which is a great lead on to this, what is the greatest lesson that you have learned in life so far? And the lesson you're currently learning?
That's a tough question.
Okay.
Because I've learned a lot. By nature, I'm very naive and very trusting. I can't help it. It just, because the people that I've been exposed to, they were like me. I mean,
Same.
just what you see was what you got.
Yeah.
And it was very hard for me to learn to not be quite so trusting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think Ronald Reagan said, trust but verify.
That's true. That's right.
I didn't verify
Yeah.
quite often.
Yeah.
And naturally, you want to surround yourself with good people.
Smart.
Good people.
Mm-hmm.
You want to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you.
Mm.
You know, I mean, and I knew that. I knew that I had to have smarter people than me around.
Yeah.
Because while I had the determination and the will to survive and bring my family some steadfast, you know, living,
Yeah.
I had to be.
Yeah.
I had to be. And of course, the traumas that I've been through, you know, I'm still standing. I'm still here.
You are.
Because I know who I am.
It's so good.
I know who I am. And I'm not what I was accused of. I'm just not. Never have been. Never have been. But
And I will say, even though this is not what we were going to talk about, but I will say just even the honor of getting to know you and be with you and spend some personal time with you.
you're so sweet.
To verify that and to say who you are, exactly who you are. The way I've always seen you on TV
That's
is exactly
who I am.
who you are. And you're one of the most loving, beautiful, intentional people that I've had the honor of meeting.
Joseph,
and I mean that with all of my heart.
You're
I
so
do.
kind.
And I wish everybody who had the honor and the privilege to being able to be exposed to that. But again, I think also as well with you, to your point about surrounding yourself with people that are good people, when you have that, they'll champion you and
exactly
encourage
right.
you
Yes.
to continue to be authentically who you are,
Yes, and they will
regardless of
not
what anyone
bring you
else says.
down.
No, not
They
one
will-
bit.
They will not attack you or
That's right.
bring you down.
That's right. Absolutely. I love what Maya Angelou says. When people show you who they are, believe them.
And isn't that the truth?
It's true. And when someone shows you
Who they
opposite,
really are.
you don't have to, you let them go. Like, let them be
Don't
who they are.
That's right.
Don't surround yourself with them, but the people that you know are genuine and that are authentic and that love with just a pure heart, that's the people that you want to surround yourself with.
Well, I'm trying to outgrow my naiveness.
Me too. I'm the same way.
I'm trying.
Very trusting. You want to believe the best of everyone. Yeah.
I do.
But that
I
could
feel
be a
like
downfall.
Everybody
to you.
feels like I feel.
Same.
There's no hate in there.
No.
And oh my gosh, all you have to do is turn on the TV.
That's
and,
right. Yes.
And you can feel the hate.
You
it's
can.
so thick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thick.
Yeah. It's true.
That's far into my world.
Yeah. What would you say is the lesson that you are currently learning right now in life?
Same thing.
It's an ever evolving lesson.
You know, I've finally decided, Joseph, that I'm a slow learner. You know.
Okay.
It takes me a while
Yeah.
to believe the people that have revealed themselves to me. It's still hard for me to accept. But patience. What am I learning now? What am I learning now, Eddie? What am I learning now?
At this point in your life.
Patience, grace,
So good.
you know, and just tend to my family.
It's beautiful.
My being in a family business is tough because you're going to say things to each other that you would never say
Of course
to
not.
one of the employees.
Yeah.
And guilt feelings. I've got some guilt feelings there when my sons and I would go at it. And I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make up for the times that we've spoken to each other.
Yeah.
Like we have.
Yeah. But you love each other.
Oh
Not just,
my gosh.
sometimes that comes with the territory.
They're the reason, they were the reason I got up.
That's awesome. And it's true. Nobody could inspire you to get up like your own children and your family.
I mean, I had no mother, no father, no safety net.
Wow.
No nothing.
Wow. Wow. Which is, again, to your point, how beautiful your resilience is to maintain that stamina to keep going because you want your family to be the ultimate benefit. It's not you. You're one of the most selfless people that I've ever met. And so being able to see your why for why you do what you do and knowing that it's for the people that matter the most to you is just beautiful. Do you have a daily practice that keeps you kind of going and staying motivated like that?
A daily practice.
Like, would you say some people, for me, it's, of course, my relationship with the Lord and prayer and things like that, but also spending time with people.
I talk to God all during the day.
That's awesome.
I was talking to him a minute ago in the bathroom.
Come on.
Lord, please give me the patience and things that I think I want. Please make me realize that it's God's time, not my time.
Yeah.
But give me the patience.
That's right. That's beautiful. That's awesome. Okay, we're going to switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
Who's coming to dinner? Pick 3 people, living or dead, who you would like to invite to dinner.
Oh, Lord, I'd love to have my mother and my daddy.
That's beautiful.
And my grandmother, Paul. Oh, my gosh. I would love to be able to make chicken and dumplings for my daddy. That was his favorite meal.
I love it. She just let me try some of her cornbread dressing, and it was just, I can't even tell you how good it was.
It's delicious.
Oh my gosh, delicious. I didn't have the giblet gravy with it because I didn't know it was there, but next time.
Well, I was going to fix it for you, but you got ahead of me.
I did, because I was hungry. So let me go ahead and eat a little something before we start this day of filming.
Well, it was delicious. And at the dinner party the other night, there was 13 of us sitting at that table, and when we got through, I said, "Okay, what was y'all's favorite?" And I think the dressing was one.
It was so good.
But the grape salad, the turnip greens.
Oh yeah, I heard you mention that. Oh, and turnip greens.
It was all so good. And I knew when I put out that food that it had truly been cooked with love.
Love, absolutely. Isn't that the best feeling?
Those people that had taken their time, spent their money to help the Paula Deen Lady Foundation.
Yes.
Yeah, I cooked it with a lot of love.
I bet. Oh, and I know they appreciated it.
They did.
Many of them mentioned it outside. I was like, man, I should have came in a day before.
You should have.
Next time. I'll help you.
Kitchen.
I was going to say, I will help you. I know how that is.
In the kitchen.
Oh, it would have been fun.
I had my sister, by choice, Bubbles, Susan Green, and my sister-in-law, Sandy.
Yes,
she was with my brother the last 10 years of his life.
Wow.
And so they were here helping me. They were doing the grunt work, like the chopping and all that. I couldn't have done it without them.
My gosh. Isn't it so much work?
It is. Prep.
Prep. Yes. That's the thing that takes the longest.
If you got somebody to help you prep,
absolutely,
you can knock it out.
I agree. I absolutely agree. What is one dish of your mom or your grandmother that they taught you that you still make today?
Oh my gosh, it had to be the chicken and dumplings.
Okay.
My daddy died when he was 40 years old.
Wow.
And I loved him so very, very much. Both my parents, I just adored them. And so I was 19. And I called my Grandma Paul up and I said, "Grandmama, would you please come over here and teach me how to make chicken and dumplings, just in case this is a dream and my daddy's coming back?"
Wow. Wow.
So that was the first dish she taught me to make.
My goodness. And it's always stuck with you ever since then.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Never leaves me. And it's been 59 years.
My goodness. So every time I bet that you make chicken and dumplings, it evokes that.
Oh gosh, yes.
That it's a way of honor, I think. It's not just an emotional response of, sorrow and, of course you miss the person, but I feel like it's a way to honor that person.
Absolutely.
Because you knew he would enjoy
Daddy,
it so much.
it's time to eat.
Oh, wow.
I'll never forget, I made sweet tea. Mama made wonderful sweet tea. And I made some sweet tea and I took it to Daddy and I said, tell me, Daddy, is it good? And he said, well, honey, it's not as good as your mama. I remember that. I was 19 years old.
Wow.
And
Such
married.
beautiful.
Don't do that.
No, I was going to say, is that wisdom you care to share on?
Give yourself a chance to know who you are.
It's
before
true.
you.
I agree.
Oh, I was so in love
Yeah.
with my children's father.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved him too.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have had those children.
It's true.
My children.
What a blessing.
So I'd probably do it all over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You do it because the lessons that you've learned, and it's made you the person that you are now, which again is causing everyone to benefit from the beautiful lessons that you've learned and the person that you've become. We're able to glean
so
from that,
kind.
you know. So a little bit about business, we'll go into that, which is why I didn't necessarily want it filmed, but just because it's very rare that you get to talk with someone. I hate using the term that's done it all, because you haven't just done it all, you've become very successful in what you've done. You've become, I think you were one of the first people that I would say in the age that we live in that have made a lifestyle brand and become a household name to where it brought the amount of success that you currently have. And you know, being able to glean from that and think, because I have, you know, an aspiration to do things like that. And I was thinking, I was praying about it. And I was like, God, I would love to just pick her brain or even other people's brain again to just see like, wow, what are the lessons that you've learned? What are the things that you would say, do, not do? I know one of those was the surrounding yourself with the right people, surrounding yourself with people that are smarter than you. So my question is, what actually made you decide to become that, like a household name or a lifestyle brand?
Well, it was all by accident.
Really?
And necessity. I knew that I wanted to make some changes in my marriage. I knew that I had done the best I could trying to pull him away from alcohol.
Yeah.
But I didn't succeed.
Okay.
But I fought until I was worn out. And I barely graduated from high school.
Wow.
You know, I'm really totally uneducated, you might say. And can't sing and I can't dance. But I knew I had to figure out a way to tend to my children.
Yeah.
And so I said, Paula, where's your talent? What's your talent? And I said, well, you ain't got one. If you could call cooking a talent,
Absolutely.
that would probably
that would be it.
That would be it.
Yeah.
So I had $200. I was 42 years old.
Wow.
On June the 19th, 1989, Jamie and I ran our first bag lady route.
Wow.
And I would make these lunches, and I pimped my children out into the streets to sell this food.
Yeah.
And they would go into office buildings, and they were so sweet, so kind, and easy on the eye.
Yeah.
And
Which is always a good thing.
Yes, I said, those ladies are just going to love seeing y'all come in every day at the same time with a basket full of goodies. And they would go out and sell, come back, give me the money. I would get in my car and go to the grocery store and buy the things for the next day. Because with $200, I bought a business license, a big cooler, and $50 worth of groceries.
Wow.
So I had to go every day as soon as they got home to buy for the next day's meal.
My goodness.
And, you know, I said it was really wonderful. It was a wonderful experience for me, Joseph, because if somebody had given me $250,000 and say, you're a good cook, come on, let's open a restaurant.
Yeah.
I would have failed miserably.
Yeah, yeah.
But this way, having only $200, you got to make sure that cantaloupe is ripe.
That's right.
Not right.
Right.
You know, you have to be very careful.
Yeah.
But because I started out so little, every day I was able to grow along with my little business.
Wow.
I'd learn a little bit more every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was
a good
really
lesson.
an honor for me to start out so humbly.
That's powerful.
It made me very cautious.
Think about too as well in the age that we live in. Everyone, of course, not only just wants to be successful, but they want to be the biggest, the best, the top, have millions and millions of dollars.
And
but
I never thought that.
you learned the discipline that is required to maintain success.
I could not dream that big.
Wow.
I wanted for my sons and I to be able to go to the grocery store on Wednesday if payday wasn't until Friday.
My goodness.
You know,
Yeah.
I just wanted them to be able to buy groceries
Yeah.
no matter what day it was, not have to wait on payday.
Wow.
You know, so no, I never dreamed. And every day I got up, I said, Lord, what have you got in store for me today?
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to go to bed so I could get up the next morning and see what God had planned for me. Because once I made the myself responsible for me, not counting on a man
Yeah.
or inheritance
Sure.
or anything,
Yeah.
just me, the blessings overflowed. And I had considered myself the weak one in my marriage.
Really?
I was, weak. I was so weak. And I couldn't survive without my husband.
Yeah.
But he was one of the things that brought all this fear.
Yeah.
Because, I knew his choices weren't good.
Sure, yeah.
When he was drinking, which was every day. But
Bless his heart.
once I took responsibility for myself, it was just amazing. But I never sought any of it.
Wow. It just all started to come.
It came to me.
Because you had already really disciplined yourself in that method of being careful and being intentional. And
Never sought one thing.
wow. That is
Oprah called
amazing.
me. I never seeked out anything. It just came. And of course, I was there with open arms.
Of course, sure, yeah.
Take it.
That's beautiful. I think, as we get ready to wrap this, that your intentionality in just doing what was right caused all these blessings to come.
Yes.
And I think that's a very valuable lesson that you've been doing everything to just do what's right.
Yes.
Be intentional in pursuing what's right, and it caused all these blessings to come on you.
Oh, it did. And I loved my staff. I wanted to take care of my staff.
Yeah.
In fact, in we opened downtown January the 8th. Gosh, what year? 1996. I think it was 1996. Well, in 1997, I saw that we were going to make it, and I went to my CPA and I said, I want to start a profit sharing for my employees. Probably the only mom and pop restaurant that had ever had profit sharing.
Wow.
But I wanted everybody under my umbrella to succeed.
It's beautiful.
And
most people would not know that.
oh no.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you.
No, I don't go around talking about it.
No.
But I was so happy to do that. And, we recently decided it was time to retire Lady and Sons after 36 glorious years.
Yeah.
It was just time.
Yeah.
And so I asked Carl, my CPA, I said, okay, how did our business family make out with the profit sharing? And he was telling me one walked away with $18,000.
That's awesome.
Listen, that I could cry.
Yeah.
That just made me so happy.
Yeah.
So happy. I mean, lots of them, really.
That's awesome. Kudos to you.
Well, you want to share. You want to share.
You do.
Because without them,
That's right. You couldn't have succeeded.
I was by nowhere.
Yeah.
Without them. So that is really a highlight to close in The Lady and Sons, and knowing that people walked away with some security. I loved it.
I love that. That's so beautiful. Again, it just speaks to the beauty of who you are. And I can't say thank you enough again for taking the time to do this.
You take your time, and we can't pay for guests.
Oh, please.
This little humble thing. So for you to come on your dime.
Oh my goodness, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would, because I love learning. And every time I'm with you, I learn from you and your team. It's just been beautiful.
You are so sweet.
Oh.
And I knew that today that you came to my book signing, you were somebody that I wanted to get to know better.
Well, you were for sure someone I wanted to get to know better. So thank you again for allowing me to have this time with you.
I love you.
Oh, I love you so much. To a lifelong friendship for sure.
Right.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
right.
Blessings to you guys.
Love and best dishes. And don't ever give up.
That's right. Don't.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.